Hi, my name Muhammad Hazmanuddin bin Halif. I'm one of the member for this group presentation. In this presentation, I will explain to you about the phyla, four phyla, which is Nematoda, Annelida, Echinodermata, and Arthropoda. Firstly, I will explain to you about Nematoda. Nematoda is an animal that have a worm-like appearance with slender, unsegmented, and cylindrical bodies. Some of characteristic of nematoda is they have no mesoderm and have a pseudocoelom. Pseudocoelom is a body cavity filled with fluid, which means it a false body cavity that lies between the body wall and guts. Secondly, nematoda is bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry is which similar anatomical parts are arranged on opposite side of median axis. Nematoda is bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry is which similar anatomical parts are arranged on opposite side of meridian axis. In other words, when it divides into two, it will become an essential identical half. They have a tapered body end, and they can be long as 4 feet. They have no circulatory system, and the nutrients that they consume will move by diffusion. Most of them are parasites that can give a severe infection to the organism in the water. This is an example of nematoda such as roundworm, threadworm, and eelworm. The sexes of the roundworm can be identified by the male have a spiral at the end of their body while female do not have it. Also, male have a small body size while the female are bigger. Now we go to Annelida. Annelida is an animal that commonly known as segmented worms. The characteristic of Annelida is they have a mesoderm and true coelom, which means they have a body cavity. Internal organs are separated from coelom cavity. They have a segmented body which can reach 8 to 10 inches and have also bilateral symmetry which same as nematoda. They have a complete circulatory system with a heart, blood vessel, and blood. They do not have a cuticle and they are hermaphrodite, which means they have a male and female sex reproduction in their body. They commonly found in soil. This is a diagram of earthworm. In this diagram, I will explain to you how the earthworm do a reproduction process. They will do cross-fertilization by copulation, which when the female and the male will come together and the cytilium, which like a band at the body will touch each other, the male will transfer the sperm and the female will do the fertilization and the eggs will be located at the cytilium. This process usually happens at rainy day and when the moisture are abundant around them. The example of Annelida is earthworm, bristleworm, and leech. Next, I will explain about Echinodermata. It's a phylum of marine invertebrates which include starfish, sea urchin, brittle stars, crinoid, and sea cucumber. Some of characteristic is radial symmetry, which radial symmetry is symmetry in which the side exhibit correspondence or regularity of part around a central axis. They are trypoblastic and exclusively marine, which means they only live at the marine area. They can reproduce from fragmentation. They have a calcareous skeleton, and some of them have a tube feet operate by fluid pressure for their locomotion. The example of Echinodermata is a starfish, basket star, sea urchin, and sea cucumber. Now we go to the last group, which Arthropoda. Arthropoda is animal that have jointed feet or having a jointed limbs and a segmented body with an exoskeleton made of chitin. The characteristic of Arthropoda is they have an exoskeleton which acts as armor that protect them from the outer damage, and it's heavy so they can only move slowly, and the hardness of the exoskeleton depends on the species. The segmented body and the jointed appendages is familiar with Arthropoda, which we can see with our naked eyes. They have a bilateral symmetry and they have a respiration which is gills, trachea, and book lungs. They have an open circulatory system and some of arthropoda which live on the land have a wings that help them for locomotion. Now I will present to you about the external and internal dissection that have been made at the lab for arthropod, which is a shrimp and crab. Firstly, based on this picture in this slide, we can see the external of the shrimp, which they have an eye, antenna, the rheopod, which is a walking leg for the shrimp at the front, and pleopod is a swimming leg that is at the back, and uropod and intestine is a tail of the shrimp. And the shrimp divide into two, with cephalothorax and abdomen. Abdomen have a 6 segment, and cephalothorax is a combination with the head and the internal organ. Now we continue to the internal of the shrimp. First, we can see here is a stomach at the front and the heart at the middle, and the below of the heart is hepatopancreas. Now, as we can see at the left picture, we can see that there are a yellowish thread, which that is a intestine, which contain a digestive tract for the shrimp. Now we will proceed to the internal of the crab. As you can see here, there are flank, heart, ovary, and gills, and also digestive gland and proventriculus. Proventriculus is also known as the true stomach. It is a glandular stomach where digestion primarily begins. Digestive enzyme and hydrochloric acid are added to begin the food breakdown, which is much better than saliva. If we focus to the picture at the right, there we can see the female crab and male crab. Here we can see the size of the female and male is different, which female are more bigger. Other than we can differentiate the sexes of the crab by size, we can also differentiate by the shape of the body at the back, which female have a more round body to hold egg, while the male have more triangle shape. Now in this slide, you can see the external of the crab is actually flat, with the main of the claw, undeveloped leg with inside the back of the body, swimming leg, mouth, and walking leg. Now we come to the end, and that's all for my team. Thank you for watching, and thank you because listening.